All right, I'm going to play some Tour 3 here. Let's see, what do I got here? What do I got? I got my pin chest to go. So I'm going to play some Tour 3 trying to get these. And one of my viewers gave me the thing. It's Namhai Cliffs. Is that right? We'll see if that's right. I've been butchering it all day long. It's not like that tour has been in the game since the very beginning. And it has. We'll see what we can get out here. Of course, we're going to end up getting a bunch of Sakura Hills. And this hole right here, one of my teammates earlier today asked what hole I've got the farthest drive on. And my farthest drive in the game was on this hole with a power 5 ball with a berserker. Hit it way down there past that sand trap that's on the left-hand side. So what's my farthest drive? 471 yards, and it was on this hole. At one point, they fixed it. At one point, I had a drive that was like 7,000 yards. There was a glitch in the game, and it happened for a very short period of time. And when the game first came out, they had an update that came out, and if you were playing on that day, the update came out, it would shoot your ball. If you could shoot off into nowhere, and you'd end up with some 7,000, 6,000 yard drive. And we had that on there for a while as your longest drive, but they eventually took them all off, made us restart. I'm obviously not going to get 471 yards with a Marlin. Let's see if I can end up just staying in the fairway. It's probably going to end up in the rough right on that point right there in the sand. Here we go. First shot in the sand. Now we got to scramble. The way to play this game is fairway to green, and here I am. I'm in the rough, in the sand. First shot. You really need to get up here by the shadow and get up into this range so that you've got a serious shot to get on. If you're back where my opponent's at and you've got a bigger ball and a big dog, you can get up there, but you got a better shot if you can get closer, obviously. Still need a bigger ball. They'll have a nice little chip from right there. And this hole has a little bit of a backboard on it, so you can come at it with a little bit of speed. I want to be right in this area right here. I want to be so that I can straighten that fairway out. Where I'd really like to be is right there, but it's going to be difficult to get into that spot. Right there. Let's adjust the wind out. It's about, I'm going to do 3/4 of a ring. All my curl. Just try and put it over there in that area. If you go to the right, the approach coming into the green, depending on the clubs that you have, there is a rough bump that you can do over there. I'm not sure which clubs I have in my bag, so I'll hedge my bets and I can go at it from the left. I'll have to sink my shot because my opponent is going to be a shot ahead of me. I got it. If I can get on and get my putt, I can force a shootout. I'm missing one of the holes in this course. I have 3,000 videos on, and I'm missing. I have 3,000 videos up, and I'm missing a hole. Missing several holes. Use that backboard. Let's see, 2-8. There's 2-4, a little over 2 rings. Put all my curl on. Hitting it perfect. See if we can not blow off the back of that green and get it to come back towards the hole. Use that backboard a little bit. A little too much curl. If you watch my videos on a regular basis, you know I would rather take the chip shot than that putt. I don't like taking putts. I'm like Happy Gilmore. It's a lot easier when you just put it in the hole and then you don't have to take the putt. Some of these older holes, the deal with you can tell the older holes from the newer courses that they put out, because some of these older courses that have been around since the game started, there are spots on the green you can't, if you're on there, you can't put it up. The green's too big. And you won't be able to get up to the cup. Even with a max overpower putt, you won't be able to get to the cup. And so back in the good old days when the game first started, that's how a lot of the greens were, most of the greens. And so you learned very quickly that the whole goal was to get really close to the hole, so you didn't have to take those big, massive putts. They've redesigned this hole. This hole, there's 2 holes in this course, these par 3s, and this is one of the ones that they've redesigned. It used to lend itself to getting hole-in-one, but not anymore. I'm going to do, let's see, 3-8. I'm going to do like a 4-6. I'm going to do a little bit of an overpull. I'm going to do like a 20% overpull. Looks like it's way downhill. Hitting it 70 rings great to the left. It's all about speed. Coming into these par 3s, the whole deal is I'll tell you, hitting great to the left or the right, or getting that trajectory right, what the number one thing, like when I'm prepping for tournaments, one of the things I'm really focused on is speed. Because think about how many times you've lost a shootout where you breezed by the shootout and you were like 0.5 yards away, and then you ended up at 4 because your speed was wrong. So if you have your speed right, like when you're looking at these par 3s and you're trying to learn shootouts, getting your speed right is the first thing you want to work on. Trajectory and that stuff, that's awesome. So this is a case in point of, if you have your speed right, they would have won that, obviously. But not having their speed right coming into the cup, they lose a shootout when they ran over the top of the hole. So it's really important when you're on shootouts, especially if you're trying to learn new shootouts, is focus on your speed first. Because if you're off to the left or the right, in many cases, you're just going to be you're going to be like 1 ring off to the left or right, and you'll be within that 2, or you'll be right there close to it. And then you can start to really kind of dial it in. But the speed is the important thing. That's although I'm going to, trying to get somebody to replay you in this game is about as rare as finding the bottle with the genie in it. I want to keep 2 slots open just in case I find that that rare person that wants to replay, because we're playing for 1,600 coins down here. And I'll check out my opponents, but every single one of my opponents that I'm going to be playing is going to be an expert rated. They're going to be in a similar trophy count, expert rated. And I know 1,600 coins is really prohibitive, so I totally get why they don't want to replay. If you sense the sarcasm in my voice, I apologize, but people just crack me up. This hole right here, you can go for it. You can get up there, and I'll bet you with this extra mile 9, I could get way up there. But the thing, let's see what I have in this bag. Do I have a? Which one of these do I have? I'm going to use my big topper. I'm going to use my big topper because it's got a Saturn. I don't really care where I'm going out there, so that's about 1.5 rings. I think it's like 1.9 per ring. I want to try and end up in my Saturn range, and that'll put me right at my Saturn range. The thing I like about this hole is that when I come into this green, I always try a dunk when I come into this green, because it's got that huge backward on the back. So if you put all the backspin on it, if you miss it, it just rolls up the backward and then rolls right back down to the cup. It won't roll in the cup, but you'll be like super close. But you can try the dunk on this hole every time with impunity. So there's no risk involved with trying the dunk on this hole. And there's several ways. The very first time I ever saw somebody try a max overpower hook shot was on this hole. And I was like, what in the hell are you doing? And I have one time ended up on the green on this. And it's real tricky. So I'm at minimum club. That's about 3.0 per ring. You're right down there on it. I'm trying to hit in the front of that cup. These hook shot, these dunk shots have gotten, it's about a half a ring. These dunk shots have gotten harder because they've made it so that you bounce off that flagpole a lot. Hitting it perfect. Give myself a look. See if I can get the dunk. Just missed it on the outside. Every single time I come to this hole, I try that dunk. Obviously, when I first started playing, but the first time I figured out that you could do a dunk on this hole with impunity because of that backboard. And from that point on, it's always try a dunk on this. There's a couple holes in the game that are like this where you can actually go out and have fun. And it's amazing how many times I've caught the dunk on this hole. It's all about knowing your club numbers, your ring numbers, and just a bit off. My teammates who are watching this, if I play my teammates in one-on-one, I try dunks all the time. Dunks on the par threes. It's a way to go out and have fun and do the deal. And I encourage my teammates to, if they're doing, hey, good game, nice shot. Good luck. We're playing. Okay, dude, you're an expert rated player. Are you telling me you don't have 1,600 coins and like, hey, like, obviously I'm out here having fun because I just did a dunk and you don't want to replay? Are you? I swear, our community is, and then they're going through the same process and then they're going back out there and they had somebody that wanted to replay and just wants to go out and play. What, are you afraid you're going to lose? What's the deal? Really? Serious? I mean, I challenge every single person who listens to my videos to go out and try and replay every single person they get. And at the end of the day, you'll be as frustrated as me with our community because it's like, really? It's like last week we were practicing Tour 5. This is one of the tournament holes. I'm going to bring a Titan on this just because I want to see how far I can get up there with a Titan. With a big topper. Right in that area right there. Hit it one ring great to the left. And I should get a run right down the middle of the fairway. So you can bring an extra mile there, and if you bring a big enough ball, you can get on. But there's multiple different ways that you can come at this hole depending on your club. So if you don't have a big extra mile, you can bring a power 3 ball, power 4 ball with a big topper. And you can, with a power 4 ball, I would have been on right there. So it doesn't take big stuff to get up there. I'm going to miss this so that I can encourage my opponent to get up there, because this is the area that we want to be in, and there's one of the shootout holes that I don't have a video of, so if I get it, I'll break it out as an individual so that I can fill up my inventory. So I want to try and force shootouts if I can. And maybe by doing that, it'll entice my opponent to go, hey, man, this guy just wants to go out and have some fun and play. And maybe they'll buck up and play. Got 88 million, 16,000 games won or played. Even if they have a tenth of that, they've got 8 million. So 1,600 coins is not going to break the bank. And you can come at this with any wedge. You can do the little bounce up there. Okay, I should have a great to the left and a perfect. Just run it up to the cup so you can get up there close with a big tapa and a power 3 ball. Get that close. So it's not going to matter what clubs you have in your bag this week on some of these holes. You're going to have the same opportunity as people with upper developed clubs, and you can help yourself by bringing out better balls. Good game. Now hopefully this is the hole that we're looking for. I'm looking for Nam High. I think I'm getting it right. Nam High Cliffs. I think this is the hole. This is the hole I'm looking for. And I get this hole confused. This hole is with the Saturn. So I get this hole. There's another one of the par 3s that's in this that I get this hole confused with. They look very similar, and it's a short iron. I think in my walkthrough video, I said it was a short iron. One of my listeners posted on there that it's a long iron, and they were absolutely correct. I get this hole confused. This is not one of my favorite par 3s. The other one I actually like a lot. Saturn, that's 3/8 is 2 rings. So I'm going to do a 2 ring pull. Since I'm going against the headwind, I'll do just a titch more. I got to snap it off. Hit it 1 ring great to the right, and that'll roll off the right-hand side. I'm going to have to do a big wind adjustment there, and I didn't do it. It's been forever and a day since I played this hole. So with that wind that was on there, I should have did at least probably, because on how close I could get to my rings, I probably should have did at least a 30% wind adjustment. In that case would have been like a ring and a quarter. So from what I moved it, I should have moved it quite a ways more. And I hit it great to the right, so I didn't take out enough wind, and I hit it great to the right. Not a good combination. And this is the hole I've been looking for all day. I've played a bunch, and the very first time I get on it, I tank it. Look at that. I can guarantee you the next time I get on that hole, it'll be better, because I know now what the deal is. Let's see if they'll replay. You've got to be kidding. I'm telling you. Does it really seem, I mean, am I the only one? I mean, put a comment in the video down here if you think I'm being unrealistic about the whole replay thing, but it just seems to me that our community in this aspect just blows. We were playing the 2020 Winter Major, and we had brand new holes. They're all on Tour 5. Every first time playing as an expert. I got cash. You're telling me you can't afford 20K to go out there and just play the holes and practice? Oh, we're back on this hole again. The way to play it if you're coming at it is you can come out right there with a bigger ball, with a bigger club. This is the one with the Saturn in it. I'm going to change this to a Marlin. Just get up in that area so I can try my dunk again. 2-2. It's 1.9 per ring, so we're just a titch over a ring. Put some curl on it to bring it back to the fairway. Hitting it perfect. I remember when this hole first came out, playing this hole. This is a Tour 3 hole, even way back in the day, and coming out here, you get to Tour 3 pretty quick. So I mean, coming out here with my level 3, my level 4 extra mile. And at that point, pretty much the only driver you have in the back is your level 3 or level 4 extra mile, and having so much troubles trying to get over that sand. And the deal is that you don't have to dink around with that at all. You only need to get out in this area. It'll put you in long iron range, and you've got a serious long iron shot going in. It's one of those holes that teaches you that it's more important to be in the fairway than it is to be in the sand, because you don't want to be, if you got lower developed clubs when you first start playing, you don't want to be in that sand. You don't want to be in the rough, because you know your recovery clubs, your sand wedge and your rough iron are in a word, crap. That's funny. No, I want to get back in the sand. No, I'm in the sand. No, I want to get back in the sand. All right, we're going to be right at minimum club, and that's 3 per ring. Let's put all that backspin on it so we can suck it back to the cup in case we miss it. There's a little bit of a chance that we'll miss it, so we want to make sure. Right there on that side of the cup. So it's 3 per ring, so we're just a little shy of 3 per ring. And the wind's blowing that way, so I'm going to go at a full ring movement. Let's see if we can catch this perfect. Hitting it perfect. Give myself a look. Let's see if I get the slow-mo again. Here we go. I just missed it on that side on this one. Okay, I got both sides covered. I've surrounded them. They've got their wagons in a circle. I got them covered. I'm scaring the hell out of that hole. The hole's going, oh my God, that's going to hit me so hard. Please be off. Please be off. See if they can get up there. Excellent. Hit it perfect. I'm not really a big fan of hitting overpower like that, but at least they hit it perfect, and they are on the green, taking a putt. Nice shot. Nice shot. And I would have missed my putt if they weren't on, just to kind of, I'm trying to force shootouts because I want to get that hole again so I can work it out. Because like I said, it's been a long time since I played Tour 3. A long time. It's bringing back memories of when the game first came out. I played a lot of Tour 3 because I like Sakura Hills. I like these holes that are down here. It used to be that whatever was in Tour 2 was in Tour 7, and whatever was in Tour 3 was in Tour 8, and whatever was in Tour 4 was in Tour 9. And so if tournaments came out, this is the other hole I was talking about. I always get those two confused. I like this hole a lot. I like it better when we don't have a headwind, but I like this hole a lot. I'll be on my blue ring, and that is as close as I can get to it down there. Okay, it's 3-6. With my thorn, it's a 1.9 per ring, so that's about a 2-ring pull, and I'm going to do a 1. There's a 2-ring, and I'm going to do about a 1 mile an hour adjustment because of the wind. No, that was anticipation. Anticipation. The key on this hole is that if I would have hit that perfect, I'd have been probably about the same distance on the other side of the cup, but you can hit a great to the right here, and if you've got the right speed, it actually kind of funnels towards, see where that mound, this little mogul is? If you get on the other side of that mogul, it rolls off and goes right straight towards the cup. And so while that looked like it was I was like a 2-ring great to the right, that really on this hole is not as bad as it could have been.
Like commonly shared toilets are plugged up and unusable.
Sorry about that. It was freezing cold outside, so I decided I would go sit in my garage, have a cigarette before I go to bed, and finish off my pin chest. Good game. Good game. Let's see if they'll replay. See if we can get some bonus action here. Nope. Of course we can't get any bonus action. Why would somebody want to replay? It's so much better to have to go back and go 1 click. I get to open up a chest. They didn't. So I got 7 clicks. 2 clicks. 3 clicks. Drag. Drag again. 4 clicks. And then wait. It's much better to do that than to just replay. Hole 7, par 4. Is this one of the holes? Not sure if this is one of the holes or not. No. This hole right here, you can play this in several different ways. You can lay it up out here, you bring a big enough ball, or if you're willing to, if the wind's right, you can do a max overpower shot and get right out in front. The thing about hitting to the right, though, is that there's a spot out there, and when I see people hit to the right, they actually overdrive to the right. My opponent's going to be in a nice spot if they caught that. Well, almost. A little too much speed coming in. But you can get right out there in front if you bring a big enough ball right out there. Not too bad. Let me just play with my big topper for a while. It's that's one of the things that I don't necessarily miss the fact that now we have multiple bags and before we only had one. One of the things about having one bag before is there's 1.9, so it's a little over a ring. Is if you wanted to practice with a club to get good with it, it was a commitment. Because you got out on that hole, and if you went, oh crap, this is a hole that the big topper doesn't work on, then you had to find a way to work it. If you go too far, and I'm right on the edge of being too far, I really like to be, I'm at 297, I really like to be closer to like 290, because the run up to the cup, the farther forward you go, the more, and you'll see when I'm taking the shot, the more it pinches up coming up to the cup, so you can't run it up as much. So there's a spot out there that the fairway is open to the green, and you have a nice run up, and you can do it with pretty much any club in your bag. But if you get too far up in there, you're pinching it up against that rough over there, and you need a club that's got a little more backspin. I think I'm less like right on the cusp. So see, if I was over here, it's harder to get, the farther up you go, it's harder to get looking at the hole. I really don't like having a thorn in my bag because I don't know my thorn numbers that well. Where am I at? That's 2. It's 175. That would be like 3.5 mid club. So we're talking a very minute adjustment. A little less than 1/3 of a ring. I mean, just a very minute adjustment. Hitting it perfect? What are you sticking your tongue out at, bud? I hope that goes in just so I can shut them up. Oh, so close. Hey, I have 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds. It always irritates me when your opponent like gives you the thing like, hey, dude, you're wasting my time. Just take the shot, man. Who do you think you are, Tommy? Who do you think you are? One of these big guys that actually knows how to play, knows how to make wind adjustments? Just shoot the shot. You're good. Cracks me up. Cracks me up. They're catching me in a mood is what the deal is. I haven't been feeling very good. I've had a really big sinus thing going on the last couple of days, and it's just been wiped out. Like the rest of my body feels really fine, but my head is just like feels like it's a balloon that somebody put about 70 pounds of helium in and then stomped on it. This hole has been completely redesigned. This hole used to be a hole-in-one magnet, and it's not anymore. It used to really funnel towards the cup. I'm going to do a 2-3. I'm going to just do a max wind adjustment. 2.3 rings. Or not 2.3 rings. It's 1.9 miles per hour. So I did a ring and a little. It's all about speed. And that was way too much speed. So that was way too much topspin. I have to relearn how to play these shootouts, and it's all about the speed coming in. I'm really big. I was talking about earlier in the video. I'm really big about like if the number one thing if you're playing a new tour is figure out the speed, because when you blow by it right there and you were the 0.5 away, if the ball came to a stop, you never want to be You never want to leave yourself short. It's like playing real golf. You always want to get your ball to the cup so that you had a shot of it going in, but blowing by it does not do you any good. So your speed is really the first thing that you want to focus on when you get on these par threes. And then you can start really working on trajectory. But if you get the speed right, you're going to win a lot of shootouts. Look at that. Thrill Hill. We're going to give you some props, Thrill Hill. We have actually somebody who wants to play. Congratulations. And hey, props to the two strokes. That's fantastic that somebody actually wants to play while we're out here and isn't freaking out about 1,600 coins. Let's see if that's too much topspin. I want to be way out I want to be right in the middle of that fairway. So in order to, I'm going to have to bring it back to the cup or bring it back to the fairway. It's about a ring and a third, right along the red line. And then I'm going to put some curl to bring it back to the fairway. Hit it one ring great to the right. Just try and run it up there. Where you want to get is that shadow. That's the perfect spot. There's a lot of these holes that I know the distance. I think that was 329. And I really focus on the distance. And then there's a lot of these holes where there's landmarks. So it always throws me off when they redesign a hole for like the Halloween stuff. They'll redesign a hole, and those color schemes kill me. But they'll take a tree off, or they'll take something off, or they'll move something on the course, or they'll have the sun coming in from a different angle. And so the shadows are throwing across the course in a different direction. And it always throws me off because there are some of these holes that I know, like, hey, the spot to get is to get into those shadows. Unless the wind is going with me, I can't get over here. Did bring a big dog. So I do have the right club. I'm going to put all the backspin on. I'm going to go for it. I got the right wind. And I have the right club. So I might be able to get up over there. Maybe. In the rough. Should have put some curl on it to bring it down, but it looked like it might actually bleed, and it didn't. And I will tell you that I've tried this shot. I've come out here and hit this hole I don't know how many times, and tried to get way up on that mountain and tried to bounce off those rocks and curl, and it's not good. In tournament play, we bring a big ball here so that we can get over to that spot. And very much like the last tournament in the opening round in the 2020 Winter Major in the opening round, I missed a very, very short putt. It ended up short of the hole. And I had that happen in a weekend round on this hole, and it killed me. Killed the round. I lost it after that. I was so irritated. I mean, it was literally on the lip of the cup, and when I pulled it back, I didn't want to pull it back so much that I overshot it and it bounced over the hole. And I was literally that far away. So when I take this shot, you'll see what I'm talking about. The hole, I pulled it back just a little teeny bit and the hole started to glow. And you know how it is sometimes when you pull it and the ball guide comes out the other side. The ball guide was snapping off the other side, and it was coming out about 3 feet, and there was like no in between. So I just pulled it back until the hole started to glow, and I released because it's like, hey, that's good. And then it ended up rolling. It rolled like a quarter of a ball forward and was short, and ended up missing a putt that literally I could have got on the ground and blown really hard and knocked it in the cup, and I missed that putt. And I lost it. It was like on hole 3 of the tournament. And from that point on, it was all downhill from that point on. I couldn't let it go. I should have just got up and walked away, but I could not let it go. And it was not good. Not good. It was like the Creepy Cliffs or one of those tournaments. I was trying to do this right here. So as soon as it started glowing like that, I just released it. and it didn't get to the cup. It did teach me that you got to see the ball guide come off the other side of the hole. But for some reason on the day that happened, I pull it where the ball was coming out the other side and it was jumping. It was either like 3 or 4 feet beyond the hole, or the hole was just barely glowing. So I thought, well, hell, if the hole's glowing, it'll go in the hole. And evidently it didn't. Good game. Get in the hole. All right, Thrill Hill. Got ourselves a player here. Man, I haven't played this hole in a long time. I love this hole. It's been a long time since I played this hole. I've always played this rough bump here. Can't remember how I played it, but I've always played this rough bump. So I'm gonna do there's 4. I'm gonna do like a 20% overpull. Right back to the red line. Put some curl on it to bring it back to the hole. If I don't run out of time, and hit it great to the right, which takes the risk of getting into the rough or getting into that sand. You have to put that curl on there in order to bring it around. It looks like from the way the ball guide's going that if you just hit it straight forward, it'll come out. But what happens is when you hit it straight forward, the ball guide doesn't react right and you'll get caught. It wants to go this way. And so you have to put that curl on there. It looked like it was going to go in and like, hey, dude, where are you putting all that curl on there? Because now you're going to end up way off. But if you don't put that curl on there, the ball does not respond like the ball guide says it's going to. And when this hole first came out, I remember when this hole first came out, it was driving people absolutely crazy. You can get over on the other side over here with a Guardian and you can stick it. And there is a rough bump that you can do. You can hit it off of this pad in the front, like where my opponent's at. You can hit the rough bump like I did. You can kid over from this area right here with a Guardian, or you can do a rough bump right here. And that rough bump that's right there is not bad when you have a side wind, so that if you make a bad wind adjustment, but there is a wind adjustment you have to do on this hole. And if you've got tailwind or headwind and you try that rough bump, it will eat your lunch. Good game. All right, let's see if they're a real player and if they're going to give us a third. We're going to do the whole full replay. Come on. I like that when we could do replays where you really could find somebody that really wanted to go out and play, and there was no limit on how many replays you could do. I mean, you could replay somebody for hours. My buddy Scooby and I got matched up back in the day when there wasn't a billion players playing the game. We got matched up in Tour 7 and we played all day on Sunday. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get that. I want that shootout again so that I can maybe do a little bit better on it. Otherwise, I'll have to cut that video out and show my my crappy little approach to it. Just playing with a big topper. I really like to get up. The higher up over here I can get, the better. That topspin might be too much. I'm going to leave that little teeny. I'm going to take the wind out. Just a little teeny adjustment. Hitting it perfect. And just trying to bleed it up there to the top. Yeah, the days when you had one bag, you had to have a commitment to go out and practice with certain clubs. So a lot of players that have been playing for a long time that are absolutely married to their extra mile. I think that's part of the deal. And for a lot of newer players that maybe aren't in clans that have multiple bags, that only have one clan, you see a lot of clans out there that there's only one person in the clan. They started a clan and there's only one person in it. And so they only have one bag. So they pretty much have to play with whatever they're playing with their extra mile. That's what they're playing with, and they don't move off of it. But going out and playing with your quarterback, go down to a lower tour where if you're worried about losing coins, go down to a lower tour where the coins don't matter. Go down to tour 3, go down to tour 4, and go down there and play and learn how to use those clubs. It's important. If you speed up the ranks and get up into the higher tours and you don't know how to play your clubs, you're not doing yourself any favors. I prefer to come at this in tournament play. I like to come at this with a guardian, because you can do a backspin, side spin, curl shot here. Not sure if there's enough. I want to be. We got 3 rings off of that. That sand is a magnet, and if you hit it great to the right, it's like, oh yeah, come my way. I don't think that's enough backspin, but we'll do the shot. I just pop it up there. Way too much curl. So next time I come on this hole, I can do about half curl, and that'll be perfect. Maybe 2/3. You'll never know what those clubs will do unless you take those shots. So like going out to a hole like that, that's why I set myself 3 rings off, because I knew I was going to do max curl. I gave myself plenty of room for the curl to become effective. And going out there and taking that shot, you can do this right here, and there is a rough bump that you can do right there as well. So you can do the backspin shot like my opponent's doing, which is super dangerous, because if you hit that face and you make a bad wind adjustment, and they've got the wind going forward, and I don't really know that they've adjusted out the wind, so they'll probably be fine. But if you make a bad wind adjustment there and end up on that face, it'll go straight up in the air and in the sand. Just like that, and you'll end up going backwards and in the sand. Usually when we talk about rough bumps, looking at the holes, I don't like rough bumps that involve those types of hill faces, because if you get it wrong, you're in big trouble. There's a couple holes in this game that they've redesigned them enough that there's a decent rough bump, but there's some sand spots in this. There's one of the holes. What is that in? That's in Sunshine Glades. There's one of the holes that's there, one of the par 4s. It's like hole number 2 or 3 or 1, or it's one of the first par 4s that's there. That's got big sand over on the left-hand side up by the green. And if you're in that sand, you can't. I've been in that sand on the hill face where you couldn't get on. And you had to hit it backwards to get out of the sand trap, because it was so high in front of you that we're digging into it. It's a draw. Now I'm playing a Masters level player here. So that means in order to get to Masters, they've been playing Tour 8. And they're down in Tour 3. And this is the hole we've been looking for. So last time I didn't make a good wind adjustment. So let's see if I can make a better wind adjustment this time. One, 4. It's 1, 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do a 2-mile-an-hour pull. And it's a 1.9 ring, so it's 1 ring and a sliver. Hit it perfect this time. Let's see if we can get it more towards the cup, or if I'm still drifting off to the right. A little bit better result this time. Learned my lesson from the first one. Start playing a new tour. Don't worry about losing some matches at the beginning. Going out there on those par 3s and those shootouts, the whole deal is that you really want to get to the shootouts. Don't be afraid of shootouts. You need to learn how to play those shootouts, and the whole goal is to learn how to play those shootouts so that your distance is right. Now, you can do a backspin shot here, but I'm not sure that that's the best way to go with this. I think the best way to go with this is to slow play it, because of where that hill face is, because this is one of those holes that it's going to suck back. And so if you don't get that bounce in the cup, it's going to blow backwards and it's going to roll off the front of the green or way off or way down. Let's see if they got it right, and they overshot it. So I didn't have to worry about that. But you can see the little hill right here. So there's a pocket right here by the green. So if you're running it up there and you get in that pocket, it'll float up to the cup. But if you're trying to do a big backspin shot like that and you miss it on the forward side, it could actually suck it back down and it'll roll off the front of the green. Now, come on. Yep. I guess that's why you're playing Tour 3, because you ran out of coins. People. I guess there's not really any reason for bitching about it. We're just out here having fun and playing and doing the thing. Got 2 more holes for our pin cup. How much time we got? 45 minutes. I think we got just enough time. Just enough before I run out of space. So if the video just ends all of a sudden, sorry about that. I can record about 56 minutes. I can record 4 gigs on one video. And it would be a lot easier if Red Fox. That guy was an awesome comic. And I've been playing this hole. Oh, we're shooting for the pin chest, so I'm going to just be consistent. You used to be able to come out here with a power 5 ball and you could try and blast through these trees and get over. But I'm not sure if it's still possible anymore, if they've kind of taken that shot out. There used to be, it was a little sparser out there of trees, but it looks like it's more packed up now. I tried it earlier today with a marlin, and I'll tell you, you can't do it with a marlin. And it's so easy coming around that corner to end up in the rough. And you're underneath of the tree right there. I come at this hole, and the deal is that my whole deal is I'm going to lay up. So I'm not interested in getting a whole bunch of forward moving distance. I want to get just out into that area. I probably need a couple backspin. I'm going to adjust out the side wind. At this level, it's right at 1.9 per ring. So I'm just going to adjust out the side spin or the side wind. Just try and hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect, going right down the middle of the pike. And with a marlin, this will put me in my long iron range. If you came out here with a Titan and you're in that same exact spot right there, or a Kingmaker is what I normally play in this hole because it's got 3 side spin. From that same exact range, you're in minimum short iron. So with my Hornet, I'm in minimum club. I see people do all kinds of weird stuff on this hole to try and get out in here to give themselves a shot. And then when they do, when they don't end up in the rough and they actually get in the spot, only about half the time did they actually bring the right club to make that effective. Because when you come up to this green right here, you're going to need a claw, a thorn. If you're in your wedge range, you're going to need something that's got lots of backspin, because you're right there and you have no choice but to try and get up on that way. I don't actually come at the green that way, even though I have a thorn in this bag. I could, and my Saturn doesn't have enough backspin to do it. You can try and get up here and do the deal, but I don't like doing that. I like to be down here at the bottom so that my first bounce is at the bottom of the hill and my second bounce is at the top of the hill. It's 3-9. Where am I at in my club? Yeah, I've got lots of club here. So I'm gonna do like a ring and a half. I'm gonna put some curl on it just to bring it back to the hole. Hitting it perfect. So the first bounce is at the bottom, the second bounce is up there at the top, and then it does take a little bit of an irregular bounce up there at the top. So I don't get eagle on this hole as often as I would like. But I see what's funny about this hole is as simple as it looks, this hole eats a ton of people's lunch. I'll bet you in any given tournament that this hole eats, at least 30% of the people that play this hole, if not more, epic fail on it. And it's a super simple, easy thing. Just lay up out there in front and go at it like that right there with a 3 side spin ball, and you're golden. You don't have to put any curl on it. Super easy. But everybody thinks they got to come at it through that face, and that's the only way to do it. And they got to do backspin. And I see a lot of people either end up in the rough like my opponent, or they use that backspin club and they go straight up in the air and end up in the sand. Good game. Now, even though I'm just out here playing and doing the thing, the whole thing is I'm trying to maximize my time. So I'm trying to win so that I can, while I'm playing, I'm picking up chess. I may have enough time on that video to get one more. People keep wasting my time though. Sakura Hills, hole 3, par 5. I played this one not too long ago in a tournament, like in the last year. Yeah, I'm going to continue to play with my big topper. Let's see if we can get over there. So I'm going to try and use the bounces to my benefit. There's 3/8, that's 2 rings. I'm going to put the forward moving distance back in it. I'll put a little bit of curl just to bring it over to the fairway and see if I can hop over with that big topper. As long as that bounce right there hits, I'm good. Hop, diddy hop, diddy hop. Learning how to play with your big topper, going out there and just committing to it one day. Say, hey, I'm going to play with my big topper today. Or hey, today I'm going to play with my sniper, and I'm not going to, and you get on that hole and you go, man, I want to bring out my extra mile. Don't use your extra mile. Use your quarterback and lay it up and learn how to play that club and learn what that club can do. Because there's things that you can do with a quarterback that you cannot do with an extra mile. As far as curl and trying to bring the ball around and do stuff. Can you pound the ball out there like that with an extra mile? You bet. But you could still do very good and win very consistently with your QB. I'm going to leave enough room to be able to work this up. They redesigned this green, and this green doesn't play at all like it used to play. Okay, it's 3-2. That's a ring and a half, a little over a ring and a half. And I'm going to put just a titch of overpower on it. Hitting it perfect. See if I can get the run up. It looked like it was going to tail off right there. I was seeing if I can get the run up to it. They've changed how this hole plays. The hole is now on a mound. And I'll tell you right now, I would rather take when I'm in tournament play, I would rather take this putt right here than the putt from over here on the other side. If you fall off the back of the green and end up over here, it's one of those putts where you're putting here and the green's over here and you got to do this big long arc to get it over. And I don't like taking putts. I don't like taking long putts, and I don't like taking those types of putts at all. How much time we got? 52 minutes, 53. I don't know that I'll be able to get the shootout in before the video stops. So if the video stops all of a sudden, I apologize, and I appreciate you watching. Just wanted to get some Tour 3 play in so we could see some of these holes. And unfortunately, we didn't get too many of the Nahimi Cliffs. Nope, I said that wrong. Nam High Cliffs. I'm going to get it right. We did get our pin chest. And that little thing right there where I was pulling it up there and it was falling off, that's exactly what I was talking about. There's one of the holes that they redesigned. They did a redesign. The hill on it was so damn steep going up to the cup that we used to do trick shots on it all the time. You do the little trick putt where you'd putt past it and then it would roll back down the hill and you could watch the ball go. It was almost like the funnel shots that we do on some of these newer holes. Okay, now my opponent's going to waste my time here and we're going to end up running out of video because they wasted our time. But I know that this video is going to end up stopping before I get that shootout in. We'll see what shootout it is. If it's the one I'm looking for, I'll do it. And if it's not, I'll forfeit. I got a banner winner. I don't see a lot of people out there with banners. When you see them with banners, it is everybody who's got a banner earned that banner. I will forfeit, so we don't end the video abruptly. Hey, good game. Good game. We'll exit out. All right, that was a pin chest for tour 3. Let's see what we got in it and see if we got enough time for this. Maybe. See if we got anything good. Got some comments. All right. Thanks for watching.